Hello guys, it's Sparkxzy, your kryptonite, half man, half god spelled to the small g, and your celebrity channel. Okay, guys, we're here again. Um, if you followed my last video I made, uh, where we talked about the history of money, so um, I guess you learned a lot. I guess that was helpful. I hope the information was um, was interesting. Um, we are going to continue today from where we stopped. Okay, and that will take us to a different thing from what we talked about. Where we talked about the history of how money started and how man started transacting from barter to the use of precious items and then to fiat and then where we are right now or where the world is actually headed to, which is the digital currency or digital assets. So if you've not started making a move to actually start getting digital assets, it's not late because as a matter of fact, um, the number of people who are into owning digital assets like cryptocurrency are not even up to 10% of the world population. So it will be of great benefit for you if you start now. So because of we've talked about the history of money, so today we'll be going into the introduction into blockchain technology. Uh, we're going to be looking into what concerns blockchain technology. So I'll read and explain, and so that we get to understand what this is all about. So blockchain technology is the foundational technology that enables cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin to exist. Okay, so the essence of blockchain was to create cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. Uh, it is a revolutionary way to record information surely and transparently. So the essence of blockchain technology is for recording of information securely and for there to be transparency. Because, like I said earlier, what concerns the fiat, you notice that the government is actually not telling us the truth about their policies and one the reasons why we have inflation and why the prices of currencies are always fluctuating or what have you. So, but in the blockchain technology, the people are the one who determines what happens there. Do you understand? So now let's look at what is a blockchain. A blockchain is a distributed immutable ledger. Okay. Now I'm going to break down what this ledger means. Let's think of it as a digital book. Think of a ledger as a digital book or database used to record transaction. So every transaction that is being made is recorded in the ledger. Now every block is a bundle of validated transaction. So each block you're seeing on the blockchain is a validated transaction that has gone through. Now once a block is full, it is added to the what? Chain. Once the transactions keeps on going, and once it is full, it is not added to the what? To the chain. So that's why we call it a block chain. Now the blocks are linked together chronologically and cryptographically using a complex math. So you see why math is very important. As a teacher, I've seen countless times that people ask me questions like, why are we always finding X? Why are we always finding Y? So you see the essence of math. Math was one of the reasons that led to the birth of what we have right now, which is the blockchain technology. It was one of the things that helps in the creation of blockchain technology is math. Okay, so but we'll go ahead. Now, forming a complex chain of records that is constantly growing, okay, as transactions are always happening, is growing. Then the shared notebook analogy. Imagine a group of friends who want to track their IOUs, money owed, that's money they are being owed. Instead of one person holding the ledger, that's this holding the ledger. Let's say, for example, that one person is the central bank who has the ledger of every transaction. Because normally, if there's a situation where there is a fraud or scam, you don't have access to how the transaction went, because everything is owned by the bank or the central bank. They are the ones that has the ledger. They have the information of how the transaction went. Okay, they all have a copy of the shared notebook, so everybody has that shared, how the money went, how it was wired from one place to the other. Then, when transaction happens, example, let's say Mr. Alice owes Bob $5. Everyone writes it down in their copy for a new page. A block to be added. Everyone must agree that the transaction records are correct. When they agree, it becomes a consensus. Now, once a page is added, it is sealed and changed to a previous page. If anyone tries to secretly erase the old entry, the copies won't match, and the forged pages would instantly be rejected. So, unlike in the bank, people can do some form of, like in Nigeria we say mago, to try to change some transaction history. Do you understand? When they try to do that, they might end up most sometimes succeeding. But in the blockchain, you can't tamper with the information, because everybody has a copy of what the transaction has happened. So you can't tamper with it, you can't change it, you can't do any form of thing to change the history or what have you. So that is what I want us to understand about blockchain technology is all about. So we've talked about what blockchain is, ledger, and and the chain and what have you. So let's look at the core concept of blockchain technology. The core concepts of blockchain technology. And in the core concept of blockchain technology, there are four major concepts of blockchain technology. First is the decentralization. It is decentralized. Decentralized means no single point of control in the traditional system. There is no single point at where it is being controlled. So that's why it's called a decentralized system. Okay. Unlike the centralized system, like the banks or the central bank who are in control of what happens. Okay, the bank is a single central authority. If the bank fails, the system fails. Okay, but in a blockchain system, the ledger is distributed across thousands of computers, nodes all over the world. No single person, company, or government owns the entire network. Okay, no single person owns it. And then there is clarity. The distribution makes the network highly resistant to censorship and failure, as shutting down one or a few computers won't stop the whole system. Okay, so even if you put off a system, it doesn't stop the transaction from going through. Everything is actually going to happen without any issues. Then the next core concept of blockchain is Immutability. What does immutability mean? It means it cannot be altered or changed. It cannot be what? Altered or changed. Unlike, like I said earlier, where somebody can do some form of changes in the transactions and what have you. When you go to the bank, when you fill your teller and what have you, you notice you have to sign, and that signature is what should be used to. It must match with what they have in the system for them to be able to what complete the transaction. If it doesn't match, they will not agree or agree to carry out the transaction. So immutability, once a transaction is recorded in the block and that block is added to the chain, it is permanent. It is locked in the ledger forever. Now, how does this work? Each new block contains a cryptographic link, a unique digital fingerprint called a hash. Now this hash is of the previous blockchain, okay? Of the previous block. Now, changing one tiny detail in an old block would change the unique hash. So for you to actually do that, you need to change the hash, and which is not possible. Okay. Now, which would then invalidate the link to the next block, and so on. The network would immediately reject the tempered chain. Now, the third concept of the core concept of blockchain is transparency. There is high level of transparency. Transparency means all transactions are visible to everyone on the network. There is high visibility where everybody sees what is happening. Okay, then the entire ledger is public. You can see every transaction that has ever occurred on a public blockchain like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Ambiguity explained. You can see what address sent how much to which address. However, the users behind the addresses are typically represented by anonymous strings of numbers and letters, which helps to keep their pseudonymity, keep them anonymous. Okay, not their real names. You will only see what we call the addresses. You will not see the names. So you actually don't know who did which transaction or who did so transaction. Okay, so but you will see the addresses, not their real names. So while the data is public, the identity of the user is what? Private. So why the data of the transaction that has happened is public, the person that actually carried the transaction is private. You don't know who the person is, but you can trace that so wallet received so amounts of coins or tokens or what have you from so place and from so place at what time and this time or what have you. So all these things are actually recorded and they are there for everyone to see. Do you get? So that is that. So let's go to the last one, which is consensus mechanism. So consensus mechanism. So we're going to trying to know what consensus means is that that all transactions network agree to the transactions is valid, and that a new block should be added to the chain. Okay, so transactions must agree. It is the rule book of validation, which the proof of work. So this is, for example, proof of work. This is the original mechanism used by Bitcoin. And how does this work is that computer miners complete to solve a complex mathematical puzzle. So once they solve this mathematical puzzle, the first one to find the solution wins the right to add the next block of transactions. Now this process requires a significant computational power of energy, making it costly to cheat. Then the next is proof of stake. A newer or more energy efficient is a newer, more energy efficient mechanism used by Ethereum. So ETH was the one that introduced what we call the proof of stake, and then proof of work was introduced by Bitcoin. Okay. How this works is that instead of competing with computational power, validators, users stakes some of their own cryptocurrency as collateral. The protocol randomly selects a validator to create a new block. If they try to validate a fraudulent transaction, they lose their staked coins, which is what we call slashing. So you stake and you earn. Okay, so this was one of the ways that people used in earning ETH or Ethereum. Okay, and that is that. So then the last part is the role of cryptography. So let's look at the role which cryptography played in what concerns the blockchain technology. Now, what is the role? Okay, but before we talk about the role, let's look at what cryptography is all about. Okay, now cryptography is a science of secure communication, and it's absolutely essential to the blockchain. It is the science of secure communication. Cryptography is all about making sure that communications between two or more persons are secured. Okay, and it is very important for the blockchain because of what blockchain is trying to bring to the society or to the world. It had to adopt the process of cryptography. Now, the term crypto in cryptocurrency comes from this. So the term crypto was gotten from this word, cryptography. Now let's look at how this works. Encryption and digital signatures. Cryptography converts information into secret code. On the blockchain, it does two main things. Which is to secure transactions and to secure the chain. Now let's look at the secure transaction. Every transaction is signed using a user's private key, like a secret password. The digital signature proves this transaction came from the true owner of the funds. Okay, so it is the true owner of the funds that would sign that this transaction should go through. If you don't sign it using your words, your private key, the transaction would not go. You get that? Then, to secures the chain, cryptographic functions are used to link the blocks together, ensuring immutability. Remember we talked about immutability, okay? Then it is the cryptography that replaces the need for central bank trust. You don't need to trust a third party. You only need to trust the mathematical security of the encryption. So you don't need to trust anybody. So once the informations have been imputed correctly, once you send the transaction, it is actually going to go through where it is meant to. So this is what cryptography helped the blockchain technology to do. So guys, that will be the size of this class for today. So we've talked about everything about the first part of what concerns blockchain and cryptocurrency and whatever. And I guess at this point you've learned something. If you have any question, please guys do well to drop your questions at the description of this video or at the comment section of this video, and then make sure you follow me on all social media handles. On Facebook, I am Mr. Sparkxzy. On Instagram, it is Sparkxzy. On Twitter or X, is Mr. _Sparkxzy. On TikTok, it is Mr. Sparkxzy. And you can also be part of my Telegram community where I drop most information first before I bring it out to YouTube, Facebook, and where have you. So please use the link at the description of this video to join my Telegram community. Don't fail to do that because you're going to benefit a whole lot. The video links and everything will always be there for future purposes. So whenever you want to watch the video, you can always go there, click on the link, and it will take you straight to YouTube or whichever part you wish, and then you watch and learn this. And then do well to share the video to people who are interested to learn about what concerns cryptocurrency, blockchain, Web3, and whatever it is. So see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.